Geralt is a witcher, so that means he spends a lot of his time being on the road, you know, killing monsters, and not to be disrespectful to places like this, but I think he'd much rather spend the night or eat in a tavern or an inn. So today, I'm gonna visit all 23 inns and taverns in The Witcher 3, and I'm gonna rank them. Let's start with the first inn we can actually visit in the game, the White Orchard Inn. It was night and raining, so I thought the place was gonna be packed, but I got there and it was empty. There were like 4 dudes inside, so that has to get you thinking about the service that goes on in this place. There wasn't an actual innkeeper as far as I can see, and it also doesn't look that great, and you can't get a place to sleep, but it does have a special place for your horse outside, and it is spacious, like it has a lot of tables, so you could throw a pretty good party in here if you could actually find the owner to talk to him, so I'm giving it a 4.3 out of 10, argue with me in the comments. Next up, we're traveling to Velen, to another inn you visit during the main quest, the inn at the crossroads. And as soon as I came up to it, it gave me a better vibe. I mean, it has walls around it, and it has a lot of people working in the yard, and there is space for your horse as well, so that got my hopes up. But on the inside it's pretty similar to the one in White Orchard, but it has a lot more customers. There's an underground boxing club in here, so that could be pretty entertaining, and there's also some cheeky music to lift up the mood. You can't get a place to sleep in the actual inn, but there's a lot of houses in the yard, and I'm sure you could sleep there. So I'm gonna give it a 5.4 out of 10. We're not leaving Velen for the next one, instead we're traveling to Lindenvale, and I'm surprised this village even has a tavern, cause it's pretty small, but hey, I guess everybody needs to have a drink. From the outside it seemed very small, but when I got inside, I quite liked the cozy vibe, but then it got even better when I saw a guy puking in the corner, and then he asked his mate if he should beat his wife more than once a week, so what the fuck is going on in this place? You also can't sleep here, and it doesn't have anything for your horse, so I can't really rate it on vibes alone, 4 out of 10. The next tavern is the Cani of the Goose, and first of all, I really like the location. It's on this lake and it looks really good. But we're only getting started cause inside everybody was having a great time. There was good music, some girls to, you know, lift up the spirits, and it kinda looked really good. There was a lot of room, but you can't get a place to sleep, and there is also no horse services, but nonetheless this has got to be the best one so far, 7 out of 10. We're gonna move up in the world now, and we're gonna head to Novigrad to our boy Dandelion to check out his inn called the Rosemary and Thyme. And you can see that he's a professional, I mean he got a band playing outside, and when you get inside you're greeted by this chill and warm atmosphere. It looks really good, and there are a lot of rooms to choose from if you want to spend the night, including a presidential suite. The view from the balcony is great. There is no place for your horse, that's true, but come on, it's a straight 10, and I'm not saying this only because I've helped Dandelion build it. We're staying in Novigrad for the next one, and we're heading near the port to the Golden Sturgeon. On the outside it looks great, it has a terrace and some trees, but the inside is where it really shines, cause this place is not only huge, but is really awesome too. There is a band playing music, it has this sea theme with fishing nets and stuff. You can also get a room if you like, there's boxing if you wanna stay entertained, really great place, 9.4 out of 10. The Kingfisher Inn is located in Hierarch Square, and to be honest, it was a bit of a letdown. I mean, it has this great entrance, but when you get inside it's empty, even though it's huge. I mean, it might actually be too big. There was a band, but they weren't playing any music. It has 2 floors, but they were empty, and by the funeral mood that was inside, I'm not blaming anyone for not wanting to come here. I'm sorry Kingfisher, but 7 out of 10, you need to step up your game. Now we're gonna go to the poorer side of town to see how they're doing. We're going to the Nowhere Inn.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
That is honestly my reaction, 5 out of 10. The 7 Cats Inn, as its name suggests, has a lot of cats, but what about their hospitality? Well, it's not that bad. The inn is fairly big, but the atmosphere isn't great, and it also looks like someone was brutally murdered in the middle of the inn, and honestly, I don't remember if Geralt had anything to do with that, but still, that's no excuse, they should have cleaned it up. There's also no music, so that sucks, but it has a lot of cats, so 5 out of 10. Now let's check out what the other city on the map has to offer, so we're gonna go to Oxenfurt. And frankly, I'm a bit disappointed because the tavern here is really small. I really expected more from a city. Yes, I did get a free Gwent card, but you can't bribe me to leave you a good review. But I'm also not gonna leave a bad one, it's just a very mid tavern. Yes, it can get the job done, but nothing more. It has no character whatsoever, so I'm afraid a 7 is the best I can do. Those are all the inns and taverns that we can visit on the continents, so let's head over to Skellige and see how they compare. The first one is the one in the Kertrolde harbor, and this place is amazing. It reminds me of the inns in Skyrim, and that's a good thing. The inn has a northern theme, which was to be expected, and there was a giant pig being roasted in the middle of the building. There's music, outside there are people fighting, you can also get this big ass room to stay in. This whole place is a vibe, so I'm gonna give it a 9.4 out of 10. The taverns in Arimbjorn and Larvik are basically the same, so I'm gonna talk about them at the same time. They are very big, but the table placement is a bit weird. I mean, they're only on the margins, but other than that, I like the vibe. Like the one in Kertrolde, there is a pig roasting in the middle, which is great, but there is no music, so the atmosphere can sometimes feel a bit dull, and there is no room you can rent, so because of that I'm gonna give them an 8.4 out of 10. The tavern in Harviken is very small, but it is very cozy. I mean, just take a look at this. There is also a guy playing some chill music, and I really like how they showcase the wine barrels. That's really cool. You can't get a place to sleep, and that sucks a bit, but it is what it is. Because it's such a small village, I'm not gonna go too hard on the size of it. That sounds really weird, but I said it, so there's nothing I can do now. 8.6 out of 10. Again, for the last two ones in Uriala Harbor and Svoralg, I'm gonna rank them together because they are basically the same. First of all, I really love the layout with the two big huts on each side. The table placement is also quite good, but there is no music, so that kinda drags them down a bit because the mood is a bit dead, and you also can't spend the night, so 8.2 out of 10. So overall, Skellige did really good, but it was to be expected. They are Vikings, so they drink all day. Now for the moment you probably expected, let's go to Toussaint and see how they do. We're gonna start with the ones in Beauclair, and our first stop is the Eder and Jules winery. From the outside it is very inconspicuous, but on the inside it's very charming. It actually reminds me of a place in my city, so that's kinda cool. But it was empty except for one dude, and there was also no music or anything, so as far as the atmosphere goes, I've seen better. 6 out of 10. Next is the Pheasantry. It has this really nice terrace with tables that looks really good, but when you go inside the place is dead. Like there was literally nobody, so the atmosphere was shit to say the least, but it looked pretty good. 6.3 out of 10. The last inn from Beauclair is the Clever Clogs. From the outside it looks interesting, but when you go inside it's literally abandoned and it's dirty and has blood stains. Now I don't know if this is some part of a quest, but as it stands it's a 0 out of 10, like it's literally abandoned. I don't know what else to say. Now we're gonna leave Beauclair and we're gonna head to the famous Cockatrice Inn. And I have to say I love it. It's really good, you have music, there were some guys that cheered for me, you have a lovely view. The only downside is that it can sometimes be too crowded outside because of the traffic on the bridge, and you also can't get a place to sleep, but other than that, there is not much else I can complain about. 8.9 out of 10. Next up is the Barrel and Bang Inn in Plovdiv. It seems to be operating in an old barn or something like that, but when you go inside you're greeted by this warm and cheery atmosphere. You have music playing, there is a lot of room, and overall it has a great charm to it. The walls have paintings on them which is unique. Yeah, really great inn. Unfortunately there is no room you can rent, but other than that it has everything. 9.3 out of 10. And we have reached the final inn on our list. the Scarlet Cardinal Inn in Francolards. This place is amazing. It has tables on the outside as well, but when you go inside there's music playing, people dancing and drinking. It has a very rural vibe to it, which I love. Again, no room to rent, but it is what it is. There is also a lot of food that looks great, so everything just comes together nicely. 9.7 out of 10. So yeah, that is every inn and tavern in The Witcher 3 ranked. Well, not ranked actually, but graded at least. Tell me what you think and I'll see you soon.